Hello, welcome. This is Generation Joke. Okay, I'm sorry. Batman White Knight presents Generation Joker Book 1. Because we can't just make it issue 1. Issues are so like 1990s. It's Book 1. Anyway, I had a ton of fun. Merca's art is, as always, like really solid. And we start off with some crazy stuff. Like, do I need to catch you up? Like, okay, so there was Batman White Knight, where Batman saved the city. There was like crazy schemes and all sorts of just absolutely wild stuff going on. All the Batman villains showed up. Thomas Wayne's like dark past with Mr. Freeze, like just all kinds of cool stuff. Then there was next series where it turns out the Waynes weren't really the Waynes and Azrael, yada yada yada. And yeah, that was kind of a weak point here. Anyway, beyond the White Knight, things got crazy because we get into the future, where you and I will spend the rest of our lives. And in the future, things got crazy. You had powers trying to take over everything, inventing like evil technologies, killing Terry McGinnis's dad. Like it's the Batman Beyond story adapted to the White Knight universe. It was all really good. And as part of that, Jack Napier came back as a hologram. Got it. So now what he's done is he's gotten his daughter, her, looking much more kid-like than she did in the previous miniseries, to download him onto some high-tech stuff. And now he's like, yo, kids, let's road trip. And so that's where the book actually opens, is with them on the road trip back to the house where Jack Napier grew up. And it's well, it's a mess. It's a dilapidated mess. Now, while that's going on, Bruce has been like called away to work for the FBI. Harley and her daughter are not getting along, which is part of the reason why the daughter ran away with Dad, with holographic Dad, and he kind of dumps all this stuff on her. She talks to Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, White Knight, whatever. Talks to her, tries to get the FBI to help out. The FBI is not going to help out. So Bruce, through his clever, coded messages, is like, yo, why don't you treat this like I would and see things from my perspective? And so she does exactly that. She is going to go get her kids back. But first, she needs help. She needs dog sitters. Red Hood and his Robin. I can't remember what her name was, but she was pretty cool. It's so dumb. I love it. The only weak spot in this book, and I don't know that it's a big weak spot, it's just something that kind of seems a little off to me. And I think it kind of takes away from Mirka Andolfo's art, is the coloring. The line art itself is pretty fine, but I don't know that I necessarily like the coloring. I can't place it. There's something about it that doesn't quite feel right, and maybe that's because I'm so used to looking at Mirka's art in her other books where the coloring style is very different, and it just feels wrong to me because of that. That's probably what's going on here. But maybe there's something else going on. I don't know. There's just a lot of fun stuff. We get to see like Poison Ivy from this universe. She shows up in a little bit. Like we're getting all the callbacks. In fact, like look here, look at like the Joker's daughter right here. Like she does not look like she's 12 or whatever she's supposed to be, does she? Like this does not look like a 12-year-old to me. Like she looks like a 12-year-old in here. And she's clearly like a 12-year-old trying to dress more grown up. Yeah, when you dress, that's when you're dressing grown up. New word, shui. Hey, that's something that hasn't popped up in this at all. Either in this book or the previous miniseries was just like some of the Batman Beyond like slang, like shui, right? Very shui of you. I don't think that showed up once in that whole miniseries. That suddenly strikes me as really weird. Huh. Anyway, she actually looks like a kid here, which I like. Like the whole miniseries, she was drawn like she was 16, and I don't think she's supposed to be. I think she's supposed to be like 12 or something. So definitely glad to see that. Like the kids look like kids, and I appreciate that. But in the Sean Murphy art, she doesn't really look like she's a little kid. There's Diana Prince, the brother, and then some little puppet dudes, and those puppet dudes factor in further later in the book than what I'm showing you, and I'm not going to tell you anything about that because I want you to read this book right now. It's a ton of fun. The Batman Beyond book, the first one, ton of fun. This book looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. This is a great setup for whatever's coming next, and I'm glad to be on the train. Once again, these Black Label books and their covers, man, just stay closed. Just stay closed. How hard is this? Just stay closed. It'll never stay closed. Bye-bye.